Buenas tardes, chicos, and welcome to arguably the most important city in South America, Cusco, Peru, former capital of the Incan Empire. Beautiful city. Head out for an explore now, eh? So I'm staying in San Blas neighborhood, which is just close to the city center. It's extremely touristy, but it's very pretty. Here's a nice little square, a cool fountain. So the city dates back around 3,000 years. Numerous pre-Incan societies ruled it before the Incas set up shop here in about 1200 AD. And about 400 years later the Spanish arrived, led by a man called Pizarro, and took over. So lots and lots of history in these pequeño calles. So just walking down these tiny streets into the main square, you get a sense of how modern day Peruvians are profiting off their former empire with many shops selling all kinds of things to the hundreds of thousands of tourists that come here every year. So this building here is a great example of the Incan architecture. You see how precisely all these stones fit together, despite not all being completely square like you would get with a normal building. Although these streets, it's difficult to tell what's authentic and what's not. Obviously the profit margin's so high to keep things looking Incan, when in reality everything's been restored. Try and make it a tourist haven, which it certainly is. Very expensive. And here we have these ladies walk around with llamas for photos. Many people selling things. God, it's honestly hectic here. It's like overstimulating. People trying to offer you massages, food. There's a million tourists. No, gracias. I did actually get a massage yesterday. It was mean. I just got back from the Salcantay trail. I did five days hike to Machu Picchu. Didn't actually film any of it, so I was just enjoying myself. Kind of should have filmed it, but there we are. So approaching the main square now, and it appears I've encountered my 1 millionth parade during my time in South America. It's a Monday afternoon. I don't know what all these people are gathered here for, but they're certainly up for it. Wild. So we're here in the main square, Plaza Mayor de Cusco. It's very noisy, but I'll try to give you a brief historical summary. This square was the main square since Incan times 800 years ago, but when Spanish arrived about 300 years later, they built these numerous impressive churches, one here and another here, in order to try and convert the native population to Catholicism. Same old story we've heard all across South America. It's a beautiful little square. Have all these Peruvian flags, and up here, I don't know if you can see on the left, it looks like just a rainbow flag. It's the flag of Cusco. It has Tana Inti in the middle, the sun god. When I first arrived, they were all over the city. I was like, wow, Peru's super woke. But I learned that in fact it's the flag of Cusco, and that in reality Peru is quite the opposite. There we go. I hope you can hear me, guys, but here we have Pachacuti. He was the 9th Inca and very famous for expanding the empire from this part of the world up to southern Ecuador, or southern Colombia rather, down to Argentina. Very famous. Interesting fact about the Incas, only the rulers were known as the Incas, not everyone in the empire. They ruled over the Quechua people here in Peru and other Andean peoples all over the empire. Man, this place is crazy. I have no idea what this parade is for. Someone said it's something school children graduating, but honestly it seems like somebody farts here and they throw a parade. There's literally one every day. That was cool, but overstimulating, man. Sweating watching that parade in the sun. Gonna try to find a few more of the historical spots around. Alright guys, I've escaped the chaos of the main square. Walked up to this church that's up here. It's only a 5-minute walk, but it left me seriously parched, so I'm having the traditional Inca cola. Dates back to Incan times about 800 years ago. That's a lie. But here we have the San Cristobal Church. It's the oldest in Cusco. These grounds were originally an Incan palace. The Spanish built their church here to establish their dominance. But over here we have prime evidence of Incan architecture. You see this wall with these stones fitted closely together, and they lean inwards to the mountain to protect against earthquakes. And these little niches you can see up here, these were used during ceremonies to store Incan mummies of previous royalty or important people, and people would have all kinds of ceremonies up here, funerals, weddings, all kinds of stuff, with the city in the background. It's very cool, but again, very touristy. So I've briefly been sidetracked on my historical tour of Cusco by this poster. Do you guys think the experienced male therapist would give me a tantric massage for women? Maybe I should ring the number. It's been an hour. My mind, body and soul has been connected by my tantric massage, and I'm ready to press on around Cusco. Okay guys, I've made it to the shrine of Niño Compradrito. He was a prominent figure during colonial times. The myth goes that he was born during a storm, a young boy, and a deathly ill woman found him and was promised that if she took care of him, then she herself would get better, and that happened. But then when Incas began to worship him greatly during colonial times, he was banished by the Spanish, the body and head, only for him to predict the death of a important Spanish colonialist who was perfectly fine at the time, but days later died in a car crash. and today he's kept in the house of the descendants of the woman who found him in the first place. And here he is in here. That was really cool. I'm glad I went out of my way to find it. It's really interesting that it's not in a museum or anything like that. Despite its importance, it's been allowed to just stay with the family who looked after it for 400 years. I did feel a little bit bad videoing in there while there's clearly Peruvians praying to it. But that was really cool. It's not something you'll read about on Google. It's cool. Man, this city's actually so cool. I feel bad for being cynical about it earlier. Just the amount of tourists gets to my head. But the history of the Incas and the Spanish just layered on top of each other, all around you. It's just crazy. I'm heading to another museum now, where hopefully I can tell you guys a bit more about some Incan myths. First of all, I need to find it. Okay guys, we made it to the next spot on my misinformed historical tour of Cusco. Unfortunately though, the church is closed, but I don't know if you can see through there, there's an image of the Virgin Mary. Well, that statue is inside the church, and it's become a myth since colonial times for the Incas that when her cheeks are rosy, bountiful harvests can be guaranteed, good weather, and when her cheeks are pale, the opposite happens. Terrible earthquakes have struck the city in those years. I mean, it's literally just a statue, but it's believed that this is real. I really like these myths. And here now we're coming up to the very famous and very busy San Pedro market. Let's check that out as well. Alright, here we are in this mental market, guys. I'm pretty hungry, so let's try to find some food. I'm hoping for some traditional Peruvian food. Let's see how we get on. Here in the market, when we eat with the Peruvians, we can get sopa de trigo y milanesa de pollo for $2.50. That's a pretty good deal, especially compared to the rest of the city near the center. Not bad, eh? Get a little juice as well. Interesting. That was good food. Maybe not the most traditional, but very nice and very cheap. Probably get sick again off it, but there we go. Now what? I love South American markets, man. Even if my ears do bleed when I try to go to sleep later in the night. Alright guys, I'm pretty tired and un poquito enfermo from my 5-day trek in the freezing cold. So I just got some cheesitos and I'm heading back to my hostel to do nothing but watch YouTube in bed. Maybe call my family, let them know I'm still alive. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.